Welcome back to Episode 3 of Communication for Leadership and Influence. I'm Yogesh, and I'm here with Lily as we continue our deep dive into what makes leadership communication truly powerful.
Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled about today's topic, emotional intelligence and leadership presence. These two concepts are at the heart of how leaders connect, inspire, and influence.
Absolutely. You can have all the strategic clarity and technical know-how, but without emotional intelligence, or EQ, your communication will fall flat. People don't just respond to logic, they respond to emotion.
So true. And presence, leadership presence specifically, is often misunderstood. It's not about charisma or showmanship. It's about being fully present, emotionally grounded, and responsive in the moment.
That's a great place to start. Let's define emotional intelligence in a leadership context. Daniel Goleman, one of the leading voices on EQ, breaks it down into 5 elements: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills.
Exactly. And each of these elements plays a role in leadership communication. For example, self-awareness helps leaders notice how their tone impacts others.
Right. And self-regulation helps them stay composed during tough conversations. A leader who can manage their emotions under pressure is far more credible than one who reacts impulsively.
Let's pause on that for a second. Think about meetings you've been in where a leader lost their cool. Even if they had a valid point, the outburst diminished their influence.
Yes, leadership presence starts with emotional control. If your energy is erratic, people don't feel safe. But if you stay steady, especially in moments of stress, you create psychological safety for others.
Which brings us to empathy. Empathy is what transforms a message into a connection. It helps leaders communicate with people, not just at them.
Exactly. Empathy lets you read the room. It helps you adapt your message to how others are feeling. It's what turns a one-way broadcast into a meaningful exchange.
And let's be clear, empathy doesn't mean always agreeing or being soft. It means being attuned. You can give tough feedback with empathy, and that feedback will land much better.
So true. I often tell leaders, you don't have to solve someone's emotions, you just have to acknowledge them. That one shift can change the entire tone of a conversation.
Let's talk about presence now. When we say leadership presence, what are we really referring to?
Presence is the felt experience of a leader's attention and intention. It's how people feel when you walk into a room or even when you join a Zoom call.
Yes, it's that unspoken message. I'm here, I see you, I'm listening. And that presence builds trust and influence.
And presence is not about dominating a space. In fact, great leaders often project quiet strength. They create space for others to contribute while anchoring the room with their calm and focus.
I love that, quiet strength. There's a concept called executive stillness. It means resisting the urge to fidget, overtalk, or rush. Just being still, breathing, and holding space can be incredibly powerful.
Absolutely. And you can practice this. Try this exercise. The next time you're in a meeting, don't rush to speak. Make eye contact. Nod to show you're listening. When you do speak, slow your pace slightly.
Those small shifts, pausing before you speak, breathing through difficult moments, listening deeply, they all increase your leadership presence.
And presence isn't just in the room. It's in your emails, your tone of voice on a call, even your text messages. Are you being intentional or reactive?
That's such a good reminder. Presence is energy. People can feel whether you're distracted or fully there, and that impacts how your message is received.
Let's bring it together. Emotional intelligence is the inner framework, and presence is the outer expression. One feeds the other.
Yes, and when leaders master both, they communicate in a way that inspires trust, safety, and action.
Let's give our listeners a real-world scenario. Imagine a leader is giving a tough performance review. How would emotional intelligence and presence play into that conversation?
Great scenario. First, emotional intelligence helps the leader manage their own discomfort. They prepare mentally and stay calm, even if the employee reacts emotionally.
Then empathy helps the leader understand the employee's perspective. Maybe they're going through something outside work. That doesn't excuse poor performance, but it informs the tone of the conversation.
And presence shows up in body language, making eye contact, sitting still, using a warm but firm tone, and giving space for the other person to process and respond.
Yes, that's how even difficult conversations can become moments of trust and transformation.
Let's now give listeners a couple of reflection questions to take with them. How would you rate your emotional self-awareness on a scale of 1 to 10? What does your body language communicate during high-stakes conversations? Are you reacting or responding with intention?
Those are excellent questions. And here's a small challenge. In your next interaction, practice one moment of pause, just a breath before speaking. See how that changes your presence.
Wonderful. Let's wrap up today's episode with our key insights.
First, emotional intelligence is the foundation of relational leadership.
Second, leadership presence is the way people feel your attention and intention.
Third, empathy doesn't weaken leadership, it strengthens connection.
And finally, calm, grounded leaders create clarity and trust through their presence.
Next episode, we'll explore one of my favorite leadership tools, storytelling.
Yes, storytelling as a way to influence, inspire, and unite people. You won't want to miss that.
Thank you, Lily, and to our listeners. And always, remember, keep leading with self-awareness and keep showing up with presence. If you found this episode of Corporate Communication useful, don't forget to join us leadershipacademy.tag BIZZ Sutra and share it with your friends and colleagues. And leave your review. Until next time, remember that your energy is your message.